Without any further delay, it is our absolute pleasure to introduce our keynote speaker. He's someone who spends half his time working as a lifestyle medicine GP and the other half as a coach and speaker. As a GP, he has a special interest in mental health and works with many people who are feeling depressed, anxious, stressed, or stuck in their lives. To support his patients and clients, he has developed a unique framework for happiness that he details in his book called Do Happy, which is available now. As a coach and speaker, he works with individuals and organizations to help busy people find balance in their lives so that they can be happy, healthy, and perform at a high level. Please give a huge light of minds to welcome to Dr. Gihan Jayaweera, who has been known as Dr.G.
Guys, it's 2009. I'm in my second year of medical school, and I'm back for holidays with my parents. And I get a call from my brother that we've been waiting for years. And he tells us that Akka, my sister-in-law, has given birth to their first daughter. So we got on the flight, the next available flight to Sydney. We flew, and as soon as I held that little girl in my arms, I knew this is going to be one of my favorite people in the whole world. So if you do the math, that was in 2009. Now it's 2025. So she's 16 years old now. So we've gone from playing peekaboo to watching Squid Game. We've gone from unconditional love to unconditional love and mutual respect. So she's 16 and she's pregnant. So I told her, I've got this presentation coming up. Do you mind if I pick your brain? And I wanted to sort of understand what are the problems that a brown kid in year 11, year 12, and uni faces these days. Are they similar to what I face, or are they different? So today, in some ways, this presentation is dedicated to her. And at the same time, she represents, I imagine, a lot of the people in this room. So I hope you enjoy it. So, there's three things that came up for her. Three main challenges a brown kid, year 11. What do you think they were? Just shout it out, don't be shy.
Pressure.
Pressure, yeah. From?
Parents.
Yeah. Yeah. And?
Family.
Yeah, pressure from parents and family. Anything else? Thanks.
Fitting in school.
Fitting in at school. Fitting in at school. Anything else? Give me one more.
Breaking stereotypes.
Breaking stereotypes. Oh, you guys are going to have a good day today. Alright, cool. So, this is the game plan. So she mentioned three things. She mentions expectations, she mentions comparison, and she mentioned deviating from the norm. So today, I want to focus on expectations, deviating from the norm, i.e. like what if you don't want to become a doctor? And we want to go through certain, what I would consider antidotes to these problems. Or at least try, okay? Now, some groundkeeping. There's a certain way I like to run my sessions, whether it's in person or webinar. I call them the 4 Ps. The first 2 Ps are pen and paper. I reckon if we're going to spend up to an hour together, 3 hours today, you better get something out of it. Like otherwise, what are we doing? Life is very brief, right? And I love the idea of writing things down. Our brain is really good at having ideas. It is horrible at storing them. So if you get a good idea, a good insight, it probably won't come from me, honestly. It might come from someone you talk to. It might be just that timing, something sparks in your mind, write it down. And if you're really getting, share it with a friend. So there's the first 2. The third P is participation. So the last thing I want to do is hear my voice for 15 minutes. That's the last thing you want to do as well. I want to hear everyone's voice. And the more that you guys participate, just the better it is for you. It's an act of service as it is much something that you will gain something from, right? So pen, paper, participation. The last one is, this is the one I'm not the best at, but I hope that we can create a moment where we piss ourselves laughing. I'm not the funniest guy, but I hope someone in here is funnier than me, and we'll just wait for that moment. We'll wait as long as it takes. Cool? Let's get started. Let's start with this question. What are the expectations that are placed on you? And I want you guys to take some time now, maybe turn to the person next to you, and just discuss and maybe write a few things down, okay? Give you a few minutes. Cool? Anyone have any questions? Alright, let's get it. What are the expectations that are placed on you? No dating, I love that. So I broke this rule. I started dating at the tender age of 15 years old. How can this boy put a study in? But the joke's on everyone. I ended up marrying that girl. Wow. But thanks for that setup. No dating. I love that's the first one. Alright, keep them coming.
No partying.
No partying, yeah. Which could sometimes lead to dating. Yeah. What else? Hey, can I just say one more thing? Yeah, that third P, the participation. I always used to be the kid that never put their hand up, always avoided eye contact in class and all that sort of stuff. If there's a kid like that in this room, I really encourage you to just speak up, even if it's nonsense, because it still pains me to this day how much of life I missed out on just because I couldn't put my hand up and say something. It's not even about what you say, it's just about, because how you do one thing is how you do everything. Yeah? So, again, any other expectations? Dating, partying.
Setting example as an older sibling.
Yes. Setting an example. How many younger siblings do you have? This one. Yep. Yep. What else? Give me like 3 or 4 more. Study hard. Yep. Study hard. Getting a good job. What is a good job these days? Like a high-paid one. Yeah. How high? 60, 70. Okay, 70K. Okay. Alright, gotta be careful. 60K. Alright. Anything else? Oh, sorry. Being top of your class. A space reserved for one person. Being top of your class. Give me one more. These are all pretty interesting. Why?
Being above average.
Being above average. Who decides what is average? Anything more? Maybe from the back half of the room? Yes?
Actually for yourself.
Run that back, sir.
Like goals you set for yourself sometimes.
What do you mean? What do you mean by
Or
expectation?
like, I guess actually achieve like what you want to achieve.
Yeah. So you say the goal, and it's like, now it's like,
Yeah.
there's an expectation to achieve it. Is that from the expectation from you or external?
You.
Alright. So, there are a lot of expectations. We can do this all day. But I just wanted to first get a bit of a vibe check, but also get it out there that there are just constantly expectations like that. Either from ourselves or from external parties like parents, other brown uncles and aunties, just other people, society, whatever. Alright. I want you to now consider, maybe don't consider it. This is the next slide. The champ, jumping, the champ. Alright, sweet. Yeah, this way. Nice. Got another high. Alright, so this is a bit more of a nuanced question. How are these expectations placed on you? How do you know that these expectations are placed on you? Yes. What's your name? Stephanie. Nice to meet you, Stephanie.
So like directly say it or like either like during gatherings or like family gatherings, like all that kind of stuff.
Yep.
You do get what I'm trying to say?
I know exactly what you're saying.
Yeah.
Everyone knows exactly what you're saying. So the how is they say or they hint. And I think I know the answer, but if you're comfortable, who is they you speak of? So this is the who part of it, right? By the way, this is not a presentation to go after parents and the establishment of brown adults. If that's what we walk away with, I've done a horrible job at whatever this is. But I think we're getting somewhere, so thank you. I think I want you guys to be honest here. So parents, family. How else? How do they? Yes. What's your name, dude?
Sandaru.
Sandaru.
They would compare us to one of our cousins or friends.
Yep. Yeah. The cousin doctors, probably. Friends. What else? What else? Give me one more. How are these expectations placed on you?
Very much show disappointment.
They might show it how.
Like they might like not be as cheerful about certain things, or they might just not.
It's like body language.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes. What's your name? Renuka? Yeah.
Like if you after you and then actually use is that expectation like as a return to like meet their goals?
Do they? Is that an explicit expectation or is that implicit? So it's like debt. All right. So here's the thing, right? We've got these expectations, and then if I was to summarize the how are these expectations placed on us? Not just you, but us. It's through some form of action. Someone is either saying something or doing something. Could be someone external, parents, uncles, aunties, family, or it could be internal, within ourselves, right? So, today I don't want to only talk about problems. I just think it's useful to talk about problems. There's a few, I think it was Brian Tracy, maybe I'm misattributing this quote, but he said if you can define a problem, the problem is half solved. So that's what I'm trying to do. I'm really trying to define this problem before we work towards a possible antidote. Okay? So, this is potentially one of the most powerful 3 words in this order. If I can get this across, I think it'll be really powerful. Okay? This idea that this is the sequence of everything. So, what we think affects what we do, and that literally, directly affects the results that we get in life. Okay? All of this, how these expectations are placed on us, they're here. They're an action. Sometimes it's from us, often it's from external. You guys following so far? I just get some. Any of this? That's okay. That's okay. Okay, cool. Cool. These are all actions, right? So let's say parent. Parents are easy scapegoats. It's just like, you sort of understand, right? My question to you guys is, what is the result that they are trying to achieve with these expectations? Okay? What do they want for you? Not why, we'll get to that, but what do they actually want? Yep, so.
Like the best possible future for you.
Oh, yes, you already answered this stuff. Alright, I was actually going to give you some time. Best possible future. I will still give you guys some time, because I want you to really think about this. Have a talk with your partner. Really try to think, like, what are they trying to achieve when they place these expectations on us? Cool? Alright. I'll give you like 3 minutes. Alright. What did we come up with? Stephanie already got us going. Furiously writing. It's good, which is good. It's hard to think about.
They want you to be a good role model for young people as well as they see themselves.
Yep, they want you to be a good role model. Not be a rusty out now. What else? What do they want for you? Yes?
A better future than that.
Yes, I agree. Can you elaborate?
Well,
And what's your name?
maneuver.
Minu.
So most of the time, I feel like, well, personal experience, it's they didn't get to do certain things in their life. They weren't able to achieve certain dreams. So I feel like that gets sort of put onto you as well, in a sense.
Yeah.
Either explicitly or implicitly.
Yeah. Well said. Well said. Yeah. Anything else? Oh, there's a little girl who has a question. Elsa. Profound. What else, Ben? encourage the back half. So I know the back half brings. What else do they want? Yeah?
With the future, I guess it's also like job security, I think.
Yep. Job security, safety.
Security, safety.
Give me one more. Something crude. One. Yeah,
Are you a person?
you a good person? What's your name?
Yeah.
Yen.
Yeah.
Alright. So, you have these expectations that are placed on you through their actions, and there is a certain result that they want for you. Now let's go upstream. So the thinking is where it gets really interesting. Thinking is so interesting. I recently wrote a book, and this one whole part is dedicated to this because it's game-changing once you start to understand it. Okay? So there's what I call little t thinking and big T thinking. Little t thinking is like your moment-to-moment thoughts that you have. You know, I should eat this. Oh, I forgot to do this. You know, this is like the random monologue that runs in all of our heads. The big T is what I want to focus on. These are our beliefs, our mindsets, our perspectives, how we see the world, how we see ourselves. Mindsets and perspectives. So, what are some of the beliefs or mindsets or perspectives that often come from experience, like life experience, that our parents are likely to have? That will drive these expectations, that will drive what they want for us.
Like not having a job, like being a doctor or engineer, it's like dangerous, like you won't make enough money to survive.
Yeah. Where does that come from? Why do they believe that?
I think it's just like a societal belief, maybe like within like the brown community, maybe like that if you don't have this job, that you're at risk of like not being able to make enough money enough to your family and whatnot.
Oh, let's go deeper on this.
Probably the fact that when they were young, those were like the prestigious jobs that like were
Yep.
high ranked in society.
Yep. Not safe. Yes.
I think in actual life, especially back in our parents' program, probably the opportunities we look at, like they would have had some opportunities for education, university. That they must see us like with all this money, access to universities and whatever. They must be like, we had access to all this. Then why wouldn't we be trying to do medicine or whatever if we have all these facilities?
Yeah.
So you have all these choices. Why not pick what they deem to be the best one?
Yeah. So we have all these choices. We're in, like, I reckon, one of the best countries in the world. It's kind of weird from their perspective if we don't lock in and like use those opportunities. But let's go deeper. So where does that come from? Let's go a few levels deeper. So,
I feel like when they immigrated, they have to like, it was like harder for them because they didn't like, what at the day achieving in Lanka wasn't seen as valuable as like English students. Do you know what I'm trying to say? Like, their like academic efforts, their jobs, whatever they had in Lanka, they weren't able to do that. They weren't able to do that when they came here. And it must have been like really difficult to like build like a family and like everything from the ground up and really scary to start it when you're like. So like I think they believe that if you achieve like top academic success and like work like really hard, you won't fall into like that position of just like struggling and like not struggling but like having to build everything from the ground up. They want you to be like great and stuff.
Yep. Yeah. So, for how many about the parents? How many of your parents put your hand up if they weren't born in Australia, like they were born in all of us, right? So almost all of us, I imagine. So automatically, their whole belief system is going to be different. The way I think about it is, if I grew up in Sri Lanka, I'd just be a different dude, like completely different. So it really matters. So what are some of the things, like why did they come to Australia? What are just like, why would they immigrate from their home country?
There was a lot of like political turmoil and
Yeah.
like a lot of issues with terrorists
Yes.
at the time.
Yes.
Most of our parents moved.
Yeah, I mean, my parents moved in the middle of the Civil War, like to the point. So I have a brother, so my mum and myself would go in one bus, and my brother and my dad would go in another bus. The logic was that if there was a suicide bomber on one of the buses, we wouldn't lose the whole family. Wild. Who's thinking about that in Australia? Yeah, exactly. Like this is the stuff, right? Like there was a hand up there. Anything else? Not only what are their beliefs, but where do these beliefs come from?
Because they see like another person that has a similar job and they see how well they're doing. They kind of, it's like a comparison. It's like, oh, that kid's doing really well and we really want you to do the same.
Yep.
It's proof that they're being successful.
Yep, they're safe.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anything else before I go? Oh, yes.
It's like a condition, like it's like a cycle where like they would have had their parents and just before them. They saw like people like doctors or engineers that had a stable income. They always had food to give to the family. There was less struggle relative to other jobs, so they saw that as like the successful thing, the lucky thing, the thing that they all want to strive to be.
Yeah.
So they saw that education as a secondary thing was necessary for that, and so they push all these things because in their head, that's what's going to make my child happy and live a good life when I'm not going to be around one day.
Yeah. Well said. Well said. Did everyone hear that? So, I find it really useful because often what we see is this. So I see a lot of people, sometimes patients, sometimes friends and family, where they have these expectations placed on them, but they don't think downstream and upstream. So the expectations are just freaking annoying. And it causes tension between the parent and the kid. But I find it quite useful to go downstream and upstream because it builds a lot of empathy. So for me, one of my sort of like summarizing points from why my parents are the way they are, and probably a lot of your parents are the way they are, is because they come from a conditioning where survival was the main thing, and education was the path. It was always the path. I had a patient actually, it's probably like 2 years ago now, for argument's sake, let's say like 16, 17 years old. And he was sort of running amok a little bit, coming home late, partying, just like doing all the things, probably dating. And no, he was dating actually. So he was dating. But he was coming home late, and the parents were shouting at him, and they were crying, and everything was just an absolute mess. And he was getting more and more angry with his parents, and his parents were losing more and more control of their child. And I posed it to him, and I was like, dude, like, why do you think your parents are this way? Why do you think they cry when you come home? Why do they shout at you? And he's like, I don't know. I was like, it's because they're... Can I swear to anything?
I muted it.
I was like, it's because they're shit scared. And you could see like a light bulb go off in his head. Oh. So whether they place these expectations on you or not, whether they want certain things for you that you don't necessarily want for yourself possibly, You can't deny that all of your parents will like really give a shit about you. That's where it's coming from, ultimately. I'm not saying what happens downstream is the right thing. I'm just saying upstream, it's a very beautiful thing. So, the antidote, I believe, for the expectations is empathy. And I don't think it's up to the parents necessarily to understand you guys. I think it's up to you guys to understand your parents. People don't change, generally. Like, it's really hard to change people. It's really hard to change ourselves. How the hell are you going to change someone else who came from war? Like, it's just, people can change, but it's a very hard thing to do. And I think it's a useful, healthy thing to do, to take full responsibility and drive that change in yourself first. Because unless someone is actually putting their hands on you, no one can hurt you. And I think my antidote for this expectation problem is to just accept that these expectations probably won't stop. You'll have to literally change someone. But you can change what happens between your ears, and I think the path is empathy. And the prescription is to ask questions. Asking your parents, asking uncles and aunties, without any malice, without any anger, but with pure curiosity. There's this hallmark book by Dale Carnegie. It's called How to Win Friends and Influence People. It's about communication, but I think even broader, it's about relationships. And one of the main laws of relationships and communications is seek first to understand, then to be understood. Seek first to understand, then to be understood. Lead with curiosity. And I have come to the point where I think my parents actually don't owe me anything anymore. They've already given me a life, they've brought me here, anything else is bonus. I've got to sort it out myself. Any questions on that? This is what I think. Anyone disagree? Comments? Criticism? One last thing I'll add is something I've been reflecting on in the last few years, is that all advice is autobiographical. So all advice is based on people's experiences. It's only based on what they know. You can only give advice based on what you know. And again, I think that gives a lot of space for empathy, where you can actually put yourself in someone's shoes. Okay? Shall we move on? Let's do it. Next puzzle is, what if you are deviating from the norm? So there's two sort of arms to this. And I don't want this to sound like, okay, let's get this out of the way. What is the norm? What is the classic Brown thing to do? Executive studies. Doctor, lawyer, engineer, or failure. We joked about that, but it was like a nervous laugh. It's kind of true, yeah? So, doctor, lawyer, engineer, I reckon accountants. It's a respect on their end. But you get the point. So if you don't go down these sort of professional routes, which what we talked about before, I think like this was the path to survival. It's hard to change that level of conditioning. But what if you don't want to do that? What if you're here and you don't want to do that? I know the elephant in the room, I actually did one of them. I bet, right? By the way, this is like, if you actually want to do it like I did, it's a freaking awesome career. Just saying. But if you don't want to do it, this will be the worst life you can ever imagine. Like, there is so much sacrifice to try to do this. But that's besides the point. So what if you want to deviate from the norm? Now, I look at it as like two arms. The first arm is, you know what you want to do, it's just not one of these. Or the second arm is, you have no idea what you want to do with your life. Yeah? Let's focus on the one where you know what you want to do. So, my question to you guys, and I want you to have to think about this with your partner, is, do you know someone who has deviated from the norm? Someone that inspires you, and what can we learn from them? Okay, I'll give you some time to think. Who in your life that you know of, you might not even know them personally, who's deviated from the norm? And what's inspiring about them? Alright, I'll give you a few minutes. We are, as always, so time is not my friend. So we've got a little bit more time, so let's keep going. Who is inspiring to you guys? Who came up? No one. Anyone of you guys come to you guys?
My dad.
Your dad? Tell me about your dad. And what's your name?
Lavina.
Lavina.
Yeah.
Nice to meet you. Give me the mic.
So my dad came from Sri Lanka and he started from bottom, so he started doing cleaning, and then from that experience he started cleaning business, and then he sells cars on the side as well. So
Wow, I love it. Give it up for. Give me one more. Yes.
Yeah, can you give it
Good catch.
No. My cousin is a part of the Navy. He joined it after uni, and he was the first in our family to actually deviate from engineer, med, that kind of stuff. So yeah.
What can we learn from him?
That he wasn't necessarily the most academic, but he did put his effort into doing that kind of stuff and what he was passionate about, and he also did learn from his parents, and yeah.
Thank you, sir. Anyone else? You just pass the mic to. Oh yeah. At the back. I love the back.
Did you have a question?
Yeah,
Or you can ask a question.
Yeah.
No, you can ask a question.
No. Let the back do it first. It's finally come from the back.
I think you muted it on the.
It should be a red light.
Yeah, it has been read. My family influenced my dad to do something from that section in uni, so accounting and everything like that. And then also med, doctor and stuff, lawyer and everything. But it's because of the war and everything stuff, he had to wait 5 years to get into uni. So in that time, he said, no, I don't want to do this. This isn't even my choice. My family influences. So without going to uni, he went to different countries and then hospitality. And then, he went up the job there and then, started his career with hospitality.
What's your name?
Vehicle.
Yuka? That's good. Very good. Thank you. All right, guys. So I think the point is like we're in Australia. Just you can figure it out here. And I was trying to I was actually talking to my wife about this. Like, what is the antidote for this? Because when you deviate from the norm, there is this sort of pressure. I don't know, like it's almost like I have to make it work, otherwise everyone's going to be like, I told you. You know? Like it's sort of like, what is it? What is the antidote? And I'm not entirely sure, honestly, because I'm going through this right now. Like I did the doctor thing, but now 10 years into being a doctor, like I'm doing this stuff now. I speak, get paid to speak, I coach, I write books, like I'm deviating, and I can sort of sense even when I tell people I wrote a book and I coach and all this sort of stuff, they're like, you're still working as a DP though, right? But that's okay, again, it's just, you know where it's coming from, right? It's coming from love, but it's still, there's this like weird pressure. And the antidote, I reckon, and I changed it on the way here, so I haven't updated the slide. I think it's acceptance. So, for me at least, I think I've just come to accept that people just won't get it, and that's okay. This beautiful belief that an entrepreneur called Dan Martell has, which is you have to be willing to be misunderstood for a very, very long time to get results. And I think it's useful to just accept that. And also, I think you have to accept in yourself if you are going to deviate from the norm, and it's like this recurring thought, this nagging, this itch that you have to scratch. That's just kind of who you are. And you have to accept that too. Like you can't, that probably won't change. And the more you deviate from the deviation and you try to fit in, the less comfortable you'll feel. So I think alongside acceptance, it does take a bit of courage. Because in my experience, honestly, there's a little bit of what are you doing with your life sort of thing. But most of it is just indifference. People just don't care. They don't care about the other stuff. Again, Dan Martell says no one cares until you win. I'm not sure if that's true, but it doesn't really matter. As long as if it's like a true calling, just get after it. Life's too short. Now, that's if you know what you want to do. And it's not one of the sort of brown four. But what if you don't know? This is something. So how many people in here don't know what they want to do, from a career perspective? 1, 2, 3. Oh, that's kind of thought. Okay, that's fine. So if you don't know, I think that's completely normal. It's kind of weird to expect people to know what they want to do with their life, especially if you're 16, 17, 18, early 20s, you haven't really experienced anything. I think it's crazy that you have a day or two of work experience and then you pick your whole career. That's stupid. Seriously, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. It's so ridiculous. And I think the beautiful thing about being in this country is you can change. Nothing is fixed. Look at me, doctor for 10 years, now potentially going to be speaking and writing for a living. That's kind of cool. You can, so I love jiu-jitsu. There's this amazing jiu-jitsu coach. Does anyone like jiu-jitsu here? No one likes martial arts? No one can defend themselves? Yeah? Good. So John Danaher, he's one of the top jiu-jitsu coaches. And he talks about this idea that you can reach a level of mastery, so be in the top 25 people in the world at any craft within 5 years. So if you put work into it, you can theoretically redefine yourself in 5 years. So nothing is fixed. But if you don't know, I reckon there's something you can focus on, which is this idea of meta skills. So meta skills are skills that sit above normal skills and they make all your other skills better. And there's 3 main meta skills that I want to talk to you about today. Alright, so there's three main meta skills. Well, there's probably more, but this is how I conceptualize it. First one is character. That's right. I'll use the. That's right. Character. Next one is human qualities. And then the last one is high value skills. Alright, so let's talk about character. The way I define character is what is the version of you that turns up when life becomes very hard? It's easy when things are easy. But when it's hard, you need character. And by definition, life will get hard at some point. Who's experienced some hardness in their life? Most of us, right? And if you haven't, you just haven't lived long enough. Like it's going to get hard at some point. This is part of the algorithm. So, to the degree that we can build that character, I just talked about my parents, they're full of character. I think it was something they were saying. They leave a country, start from scratch, rebuild, where English is their second language, and they get their kids through their education. It's wild, full of character. So that's why a lot of parents these days are worried about their kids because it's too easy for them, they say. I'm not sure if it's easy for them, but it's different to like escaping a war, I guess. That's probably fair. So the way I would suggest, again, if you don't know what you want to do, focus on building character. And the way I love to build character is to do hard things. And if you don't know what the hard thing is and you're in like year 10, 11 or 12, it's probably BCE. So just the act of, if you don't know what to do, like just setting like a really high goal for yourself and getting after it, everything that, even if you don't get it, doesn't matter. But the person you become on the way to trying to do that is going to have way more character than the person who doesn't. Okay? The second one is human qualities, or what I like to call funeral qualities. So I don't know if you've noticed, but if you go to a funeral, what do they often talk about? They talk about whether they got into med. What do they talk about?
How good the person was.
Yeah, their qualities, man. Like how good they were. So what are some like top-notch human qualities? A lot of these qualities the world is starving for. What are they? Yeah. Kindness, yes. Particularly unconditional kindness, I think is a very powerful form of kindness. What else? More qualities?
Respectful.
Yeah, respect. Yes.
Selflessness.
Selflessness, yeah, absolutely. If you want, yes, sir. Empathy and sympathy. Love that. I would also add patience, more as a reminder for myself. Yes? Humor, I love that. Give me a few more. Yes, we'll go. Generosity, yeah. Kindness. Resilience, absolutely. One more. Yes? Humility, I love that. So, if you don't know what to do with your life, build these qualities. And they're not fixed. Yes, Mr. Myers, you have something else to say? Build these qualities, and the beautiful thing is it's not fixed. You can literally cultivate them, go to the next level, to the next level, to the next level. And the thing I like about this is you can do it externally, like kindness, you can do generous things and be kind, but you can also build it internally. Kind? Alright, I'm being too tough. Can I, oh.
No, you're not talking, so you can take a couple of minutes.
I'll do the last one.
And
I'll do the last one. Yeah.
sorry about that.
That's alright. Alright. Here's my little rant. The expectations, deviating from the norm. It's all hard. But the reality, as I see it, is that it doesn't end. It's not your parents, it's going to be your boss. It's not your boss, it's going to be your colleagues, it's going to be your peers. The expectations and the comparison and the discomfort of deviating from the norm doesn't end. In fact, I think life gets harder, and it's not really up for life to get easier, it's for us to get better. And this beautiful quote by Mark Twain, don't let school get in the way of your education. So yes, do well in school, do well in uni, but all these extra pressures, all these extra expectations, all this like self-doubt, it's teaching you something. It's your actual education. Alright, if you guys want to stay in touch, that's my email, Dr.G at drgihan.com. So I love writing, I like speaking, but I love writing. It's my greatest professional passion. So I write regularly for my newsletters. If anyone wants to keep track of my journey, just email me newsletter, and I'll chuck you on there. Maybe you're into it. And then if you want me to come and speak at your organization or your school or your uni and you think I'll make a good fit, just email me speak and I'll be in touch. I'll just give you like half a minute just to take a screenshot. If you want to do it now, just send me a quick email. Yep, nothing. Give you a moment. Cool. Everyone got it? Alright, so last thing. I mentioned a few times, I recently published a book this year. It's called Do Happy. This is nearly 2 decades of pain, suffering and learning condensed into one book. You don't write a book called Do Happy without first being unhappy. So I had to sort of teach myself how to be happy. Got bullied in high school, and like med school was like super stressful. But it forced me down this journey and I'm so grateful for it. I wouldn't change anything. And led me to try to figure out how to be happy. And I think I got a fair bit along that journey. And now I have the pleasure of helping other people do the same. So I wanted to document, put everything into a book. And one of my goals is to give away 1,000 copies. So far I'm up to 180-ish. I think I've sold like 300 or something, but like the actual giving away for free, it's 180. And I want to get to 1,000, purely because I just want to see what happens. And this is one of the things that's already happened. So I gave it to my guy Dan, who used to be a client, became a friend. And we did some cool stuff together, and I sent him one of my books. And he had never traveled overseas before. He's like 40-something years old. And he plays big when he does play, so he actually went to Norway for the first time. He took my book with him, took all these pictures of the book in Norway. I've never been to Norway, but my book's more better travel than me. And he left in some small corner of a library in Norway. And he left me this message. And it's just, I guess, an example of, for me, of what can happen if I just give it away and see what happens. So, that's what I plan to do today as well. So if you guys like reading, if you guys like reading sort of non-fiction, self-helpy type books, I've got about, I haven't actually counted, but maybe like 40, 50 copies. If you guys want a copy, just come and I'll give you a copy. Much love. Thank you for having me.
Wow, thank you, Dr. G, for those truly amazing insights. I think it was a very simple message at the end of the day, but it was so much to unpack at the same time. Definitely some crucial takeaways for everyone in here.
Absolutely, Rakesh. A powerful start to the afternoon.